everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from smoky Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up today,
We're keeping it in the show.
I was fighting that the whole time. The Atlas of Creation.
Yeah, it's we're going to talk about a giant book. But just as an explanation for Frank almost dying in the first minute of our show, just so you guys know, California is exporting all of their smoke to Utah, and I'm not happy about it.
This is a huge event, Dan.
The California smoke event?
Yeah. And it's really affecting us.
Yeah.
Those fires are really affecting us. We're breathing shitty air.
We are breathing shitty air. And
But our state's not burning down.
No.
We
we have some fires, some of our own fires, but mostly it's theirs. And frankly, Nevada's not doing their job. They're not holding up their end of the bargain here.
Yeah, what is Nevada like? Is it blue skies over Nevada?
it literally is skipping Nevada and coming to us.
Well, Nevada must be doing something right.
Yeah.
And something else that people are doing right, Dan.
What's that?
They're ordering their razors off of harrys.com.
They're choosing, because they're smart, they're intelligent, reasonable people, not to pay exorbitant amounts for an inferior shave.
Right.
That's the choice that they are making.
Yeah. Supermarket prices for razors are ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to have internet prices. You have to.
Yeah.
And you might as well take full advantage of how the internet can bring you things by signing up for a subscription service.
They just show up.
I'm pretty sure it's drones, and I don't know. There's technology involved. And here's the technology that's involved once it comes to you.
Yeah.
You get your razor. You get the ergonomic handle. You get the 5-blade cartridge.
Yeah.
You get the smoothest shave you're going to get.
Right.
Those 5 blades, those are precision engineered German steel, baby.
Yeah. You have your other number of blade options. You've got the 1 blade, the 2 blade.
Sure.
You can splurge and get the 3 or the 4.
Is there anything sadder than a 1-blade man?
Like that, I would imagine that's a straight.
I'm thinking about those like Bic orange.
Oh, they make those?
Yeah, they still make those. I was
just being silly.
No. You get your one. Like if you forget your razor and you go to a hotel and you
two.
Call it. No. Those are 1-blade disasters.
No.
And there's
That's
still
just going to scrape up your face.
There's still people who use those on purpose. I mean, those are cheap. So if you want cheap razors, you've got your options. You've got the 1-blade horror show that will probably just take off a layer of face.
Right.
Or you've got 5-blade luxury in the form of harrys.com, HARRYS.com /TGIAtheist, because we're going to hook you up with the free stuff. Right. I don't know if they want us to say shit in the middle of their thing.
I don't think they care.
I don't think
but
they do.
You kind of just did.
I did. Anyway, you get the 5-blade cartridge, you get the ergonomic handle, you get the shave gel, which we love.
It is glorious.
And then you get the travel case protector thing. It's all free. You get all of that for free when you start with us. When you drop our name by going to harrys.com /TGIA. Then it's all.
Which one is it? Because you've said atheist and you said A.
No, it's A.
Okay.
Did I say atheist?
I think you said atheist the first time.
Forget that.
And I'm getting confused.
It's just TGIA.
Okay, perfect.
It's just harrys.com.
I don't want our listeners confused.
Yeah, I get confused. We're easily confused humans. Anyway, go there, sign up. If you don't like it, you stop. You're out nothing but the shipping.
Yeah.
You've paid basically nothing for a bunch of awesomeness.
Yeah.
And it's worth a try. Just try it. Help us out. Help you out. Everybody gets helped out. harrys.com /TGIA. Just go do it.
All right. Well, Dan.
What?
We were talking about the wildfires in California. So I'm actually going to do a quick story.
Yeah.
Because, here's the deal. I want to know where these wildfires are coming from.
Why are they here?
Why are they here? What is causing them? So that we can get to the bottom of this problem. California doesn't burn up every year. And Utah, by the way, doesn't have to be all smoky.
Yeah,
right?
You know what?
We live in this giant bowl, right? It's called the Great Basin Desert.
Yes.
right? It just collects bad air.
I'm loving the geography lesson. We're killing it today. We're killing it.
Well, one Kevin Swanson,
Yeah.
of the frozen dinner fortune.
No, of covering himself in shit fame
Yeah.
at his son's gay wedding.
Yeah. So he's a pastor over in Colorado.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the LGBTQs.
He doesn't.
Of this world.
He's definitely not a fan of letters.
He doesn't like me.
No.
He thinks that I'm gross.
He does think that.
And he thinks that California is on fire because of their embrace of the LGBTQ community.
Of the gay folk.
Of the gay folk. It's the whole reason. California, San Francisco was a safe harbor for the gay people.
Yeah.
When nobody else wanted us. Guess what? Neither did San Francisco.
Right. That's true.
Right? But whatever.
But they just showed up.
We settled in. My people did, at least.
Yeah.
And he points out in this recording that we're not going to listen to, but of him talking on what program? I can't remember where he was actually saying this all. But he points out that the first gay pride march happened in San Francisco in 1970. And then San Francisco legitimized homosexuality in 1972.
Oh, how did they do that? They just
I don't know.
By royal decree.
Exactly.
The king of San Francisco waltzed out with his scepter and said, "We legitimate the gays."
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And it was glorious and fabulous.
And lo, the people did cheer, and the go-go dancers did dance.
Woo! In 2005, California state legislators became the first in the nation to pass a same-sex marriage law. In 2008, the California Supreme Court struck down Prop 22 in regards to gay marriages, and Prop 8, quote, also was struck down later that year, I believe.
Yeah, not for nothing, but they had those propositions.
Yeah.
So it's not like California's always been the most welcoming place to gays. Like, Prop 8 passed.
But here's the point, Dan.
Yeah.
When did the wildfires start in California? When did California start burning down? When
to
did
my
God
knowledge,
say, I'm using California as an example
as we
to
know,
the rest of the world?
As we know for a fact, California never had a wildfire before 1970. That's obviously clearly the case.
That is true.
That's just science. And then after that, they've been having wildfires. Our dear friend's house burned down 2 years ago.
I know.
They have a lot of wildfires in California. You have to. You have to have if you have forest, you have wildfires.
Well, he says this year's the horror of the worst fires they've ever seen.
Oh,
right, are because the state's Board of Education approved 10 LGBTQ inclusive textbooks.
Oh no!
For the use in elementary and middle school classes. So yeah, God is done. That was a step too far, California.
That's it.
You're done.
I'm burning you. I'm burning you down. Of course, I'm not going to burn like the cities. I'm just going to burn all of the rural areas. Because God is A, wrathful, and B, nonsensical.
Right. Yes.
That's how.
But where is this fire and brimstone? The Sodom and Gomorrah, the fire raining down from heaven,
right,
and destroying San Francisco.
Right.
San Francisco's fine.
Are we? You know what it is? God's old, and his aim's not good anymore. He's just bad at aim now.
But the center of it all, the epicenter of homosexuality in America, San Francisco,
Salt Lake City, San Francisco
is wealthier than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Property values are ridiculous.
Nobody can afford to live there.
Nobody can afford that's the real curse.
Yeah.
That's how God
cursed San Francisco with prosperity. That's what God did.
And refuses to destroy it.
By the way, I think we should start a poll, or maybe even have a a bookie come in and take bets on. We'll have a pool. We'll have a TGIA office pool on when Kevin Swanson gets caught sucking some young boy's dick, because that shit is coming.
Yeah,
he will have a gay scandal soon. It will happen.
Well, get on it, Dan.
He just
what's the over under? Is that what people say?
Yeah. Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah. I don't know if I used it right.
No, well, who cares? That's going to happen.
Yeah.
That is officially going to happen. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, here's the thing. Pennsylvania as a state is going to release a 900-page grand jury report looking at the Catholic Church in the state and how they've handled or mishandled, or how there have been child sex problems and like priests abusing children.
Yeah. Okay.
This happened very famously in Boston.
Yeah.
20 years ago or so. Here's the thing. So this is about to be released. It hasn't been released as of the recording of this show.
Okay.
But it's about to be. Several of the dioceses are trying to get out ahead of this thing and release their own reports and like sort of talk about, what they're going to do to do it. They're trying to get ahead of this story.
A little misinformation.
No.
Are they running some Trumpian
No
misinformation campaigns?
No, they're
They should.
They're just what they're
That
trying
shit
to
works.
What they're trying to do is say, we're already on top of this. Don't worry, we're already fixing this. We're already doing our things. We've changed our policies. We're moving and shaking on this.
Right.
So they're releasing a bunch of names of priests and other members of the church who have been accused of child sex abuse. Now, this list. I went through. I looked at the Diocese of Harrisburg. This is the Diocese of Harrisburg. Is only one of several that are trying to get out in front of this. The Diocese of Erie is doing the same thing.
Okay.
The Diocese of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I don't know if that encompasses any big cities or whatever, but you'd think not. You'd think not. Probably
Other
Pittsburgh,
than Harrisburg.
but Harrisburg is probably the biggest city in the thing.
Right.
How many priests would you say are just in the Diocese of Harrisburg?
Oh, good Lord. A couple hundred.
It's about 150, I think. 160.
Okay.
I did look it up, and it's like in that range, 160 to 170, something like that.
All right.
Of that, they're naming 71 priests.
Holy fuck.
No, I actually, let me amend that, because this goes back into sort of history too a little bit. So this could be going back 30 years. But most of these priests are lifetime people. So
They're lifetime? Yeah.
I mean, priest is a lifetime appointment.
Oh, sure.
Is what I'm saying.
But they stay in one diocese?
Well, they probably don't. But
okay.
But what I'm saying is that it seems reasonable to me that first, there's no way to chop this number up to make it sound small. Right. 71 names in the Harrisburg Archdiocese alone.
Over the course of 30 years.
Is madness.
It's still more than 2 a year who were very problematic.
Yeah. Who
should have been, arrested.
Yeah. This is criminal. This is the worst kind of criminal activity.
Yeah.
And it's been happening, and I just found that number crazy.
That is.
I guess it's, okay. So it's like priests and deacons, seminarians, clergy, it's a whole bunch of people, but still, that's insane.
It's a lot of people.
And what it says is that it's too many people for the church not to have known.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the church has known for a long time, and they've done nothing.
Of course they have.
Here's the thing. I don't even like to do this kind of a story on our show because it sounds redundant. Because anytime you hear the words Catholic Church and priest, you're pretty sure you're going to get a story that's about this.
Yeah, you cover your kid's ears.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
You're like, yeah, no, I don't want you exposed to this quite yet.
Yeah, the word...
because it's going to be awful.
The word altar boy has just become synonymous with victim. That's like it's just how we think about it now. I don't want to do these stories because I just feel like I'm doing the same story over and over and over again. But my God!
But Dan, though,
a 900-page
has
dossier
to continually be brought up.
It does.
Like we can't shy away from this kind of stuff because it is horrifying.
Well, and
this danger. Is one diocese,
and there's a danger of people thinking that it's over.
Right?
They fixed it.
Right.
Well, guess what?
No,
it's so not over.
That was Boston,
or it's a problem that happens in the third world. This is a Chile problem now. It's a small country problem.
Right.
We amazing, big, giant first world countries have solved it entirely.
Right.
No,
not at all.
Not even close. We haven't even scratched the surface of this thing.
Right. Because this is, it was institutional. It's not like the institution, like, they did kind of condone it, didn't they?
Well, kind of.
By just dealing with it and shuffling these priests off to
just move the
different parishes.
Once you get X number of complaints,
right,
then you move the priest to another place. Then you do a shuffle where you move all of the priests one church to the left, and then they molest all the kids there, and then you do another shuffle,
right. And
the thing is, what's becoming absolutely clear is that even though the Boston, the whole spotlight story rocked the Boston diocese in a way that and shook the community, the whole city. And
there is no Catholic church even left in Boston, right?
Yeah, it doesn't even exist now. It's clearly gone.
That's the sick part.
Exactly.
It should be.
Yeah, people should leave that church. But that scandal was so devastating. That you'd think the church would get proactive. That the church would be like, oh, we need to solve this problem. It's clearly big. It's happening. It's big in Ireland. It's big in Italy. It's big all over the world. We need to get on this. And they talk about that all the time. We're on it. But it's clear that until someone really goes after them financially, nothing's going to happen.
Right.
They're not going to do actual anything.
Right.
And now, and we'll see if they actually do anything other than like, oh, we've made policies, and we don't like these guys anymore, and we're taking their names off of the roll, and are they going to jail? No.
Right.
Are they doing anything to like bring these men to justice? No, I don't think so. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dan, I became aware of a new poll, Dan.
Oh, good.
That disturbs me.
Oh, bad.
Yeah. It's about God damn it. This whole religious freedom nonsense, the cake bakers and whatnot.
Religious freedom, for those who don't remember, in the country of the United States of America, is a code word for Christian privilege and hatred of gays.
Right.
That's what that means.
And they're trying to protect their position and their ability to discriminate against members of the LGBTQ community.
Right.
By trying to trump up religious freedom. Trying to provide themselves these protections legally so that in the famous case of the cake baker who denied the I think it was a lesbian couple.
There have been multiple cake
but I mean the
stories. Masterpiece, I don't remember
cake shop
who
whatever.
He was denying, but
anyway, so that's Jack Phillips. He denied an LGBTQ couple.
Right.
We'll just leave it at that. A cake for their wedding.
Yes.
It was a same-sex couple, and he would not give them a cake.
And he was convicted of that, and then and then it was overturned by by the state or by the U.S. Supreme Court, who said that the Colorado commission was mean to him, and therefore they had to overturn his conviction.
Well, anyway, support is up for this idea.
Of course it is.
Apparently, last time they polled on this issue, back, just a year ago, we were at like 41% of Americans felt that small businesses should be exempt from having to serve LGBT couples. This year, it is now 46%.
That's because first of all, who's the they? Who did the poll?
This was from the Public Religion Research Institute.
And do we know how they worded it?
The
question?
Not entirely sure about that.
Because that makes a difference. If they said, do you think, if the wording of the question is, do you think businesses should be allowed to discriminate against LGBTQ people? That's one question. If they said, do you think businesses should be allowed to
I think they're
live in accordance with their strongly held religious beliefs and only serve people that they feel they should.
I believe that's the question. I believe the question is being couched in religious exemption terms. Right?
And that's the thing. And but the problem is that the right in this country has effectively labeled this a religious freedom issue, which it 100% is not.
It's a discrimination issue.
Anyway,
it will not come as any surprise that the partisan breakdown shows that Republicans support this this sort of exemption, idea of a religious exemption to discriminate at 73%, and only 27% of Democrats say that vendors should be allowed to do as much.
Shame on them.
Total shame on them. Apparently, the story does spend a little bit of time with this whole Phillips guy. Because he talks a lot about the things that he didn't want to do with his business. Right. For example, he didn't want to bake cakes for Halloween. Because he's that kind of Christian, right?
Well,
Halloween is evil.
Well, see, that's the thing. No one's asking. He doesn't have to do that.
Right.
You don't have to. That part you're good with.
But what if a pagan showed up, Dan, and wanted a Halloween cake?
The whole point is, if wedding cakes are a thing that you do, you got to do them for everybody.
That is correct.
If Halloween cakes are not a thing that you do, you don't have to do them for anybody.
That is true.
It's that
so
easy.
He should not do wedding cakes, is what you're saying.
Don't do wedding cakes.
He could still bake cakes for every other occasion.
Do all of the cakes. Specialize in christening cakes or in fucking, I don't know, whatever, Jesus cakes. If you're the number one Jesus face cake maker in the country, I'm guessing you'll do a good business.
Jesus cake, Jesus face cake,
or maybe cross cakes.
I've never even heard of a face cake.
Like it looks like his face. I don't know. Everything's a cake. Have you ever watched a TV show? Everything's a cake. You can make all of the things into a cake.
Well, anyway, this is bothersome to me that there's this uptick.
Yeah.
And
it's just that they've got their messaging out. They do a great job with that.
We need to make sure that we are confronting this issue left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Especially as atheists.
Yeah.
Because this is a further encroachment of religion.
It needs to be visible too.
Into the public sphere.
Here's the thing. Most people are not comfortable being sort of in your face about things. Mm-hmm. But I encourage our listeners, if you live in the South or if you live in a place that's very, very religious,
right,
and you need some baked goods, go into a bakery, ask out loud, would you bake a wedding cake for a gay couple? Mm-hmm. If they say no, say, okay, you don't get my business, and walk out.
Right.
Let them see it. Let them feel it.
Let them see that it's not only
say
LGBTQ
right.
business that they're losing because
Right.
they really don't care about that. It's such a small percentage.
Well, and they feel
of their
so
business.
morally justified
Right.
that if they lose the LGBTQ business, they feel like they've done Jesus right.
Right.
But walk the fuck out and show, like, let them see you do it.
When you like start a website that like tags businesses as LGBT friendly or
Right.
or not.
That doesn't exist? What's with your community? Get on that. What the hell, Frank?
That should actually be one of the categories on Google when they like rank a restaurant.
Yeah.
Gay friendly? Yes, no.
Yelp. Yeah. Yelp needs a like a little. Does it have the rainbow flag on it or not, or something?
Or just everyone welcome? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Who's not welcome?
Yeah.
Right? Gays.
Gays.
Queers.
I don't like the Saracens. I don't
Who?
know them. I
The
don't.
family down the street?
No, I don't like the Babylonians. I won't have them. So a mega church in I guess it's in Chicago is where it's sort of based. This is the Willow Creek Community Church, which they call community, but it's like it's huge. It's huge. And this is an evangelical church. Their big guy, Bill Hybels, is a big name in the evangelical world. He's one of the big pastors.
Okay.
He retired early. He stepped down early this year.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
in the wake-
Everybody loves early retirement.
In the wake of allegations. Again,
How dare... Who are these people?
who are these people?
Let him early retire in peace, everyone.
Well, he was already planning to retire, but apparently he's stepping down early
Poor
because
guy.
of these. And
You mean he has to enjoy his millions that much sooner?
yeah, but he has to do
Aw.
it sort of with a black check mark next to with an asterisk. So that's going to feel bad.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: it's not just that. And the first wave of allegations that came in were actually, I mean, we're not talking Weinstein levels of allegations here. The first wave of allegations were things like suggestive comments, extended hugs, one unwanted kiss, invitations to hotel room, but not like rapey. I mean, the unwanted kiss is pretty rapey.
Yeah.
But nowhere near as bad. Like he's not pulling out his junk and doing stuff in front of people or anything like that.
Right.
But
Did people actually go to the hotel room?
well, there was one woman
These
who claimed
good
that she
Christian
had.
ladies?
There was one woman who claimed she had a consensual affair with him. She was consenting. She was up for it, but like, it's still hypocrisy on his part because
Yeah.
he's definitely 100% not okay with that. Theologically speaking.
Forgive me, Lord,
But
for I have sinned.
But some new news has come out of a new
no.
a woman who the New York Times came out with a thing. She apparently was his assistant early on, and now it gets rapey. Like his wife and kids were out of town, and he invited her over. She lived with the family for a while when she first started. Oh, this is a classic. Gave her a back rub by the fire. He's like, lie down,
back rub.
lie down by the fire. It's okay. He took off her bra while she was face down, and
Well, because the strap was in the way.
yeah.
To give a proper back rub.
Yeah, you
down.
can't really give a good back rub if there's a bra strap right there.
No.
It's just the worst. But then this launched years of like touching her breasts and like grabbing her and all sorts of horrific stuff, rubbing against her. One episode where it escalated to oral sex. So
Wow.
yeah, it got bad, but she stayed silent because she wanted to protect the ministry. It was important to her, and she felt like he was helping all these people, so she didn't say anything.
Huh.
And then once all of these other allegations surfaced and he was done anyway, she was like, well, I guess I should say I he did all this horrible stuff. And she apparently like confronted him about it and took notes about his responses and stuff. So
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, not great. Not great. One of the episodes he apparently used the excuse that another preacher was on a pornography crusade. He was on a crusade against pornography, the evils of pornography.
Yeah, it's terrible stuff.
And so this guy, Hybels, decided he needed to do some research. So sent this poor girl, embarrassingly, to go get some porn videos and then forced her to watch them with him while he was dressed in a bathrobe.
No.
You ugly perv. You disgusting, creepy,
horrible,
awful man.
That is so bad.
And the thing is, like, God.
Oh, my God.
If he was just
what
not...
a douchebag.
If he was... You know, if religion weren't involved in this, maybe they could have had some fun. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it could have been consensual. She doesn't sound like that would have been.
Right.
But you know what? The thing that makes us, I mean, you know, it's just, he's just fucking creep. That is just so.
Imagine like her conversations with her, you know, husband or boyfriend, or just her friends.
Yeah.
I can't believe this jerk I work for.
Right. But she can't say anything.
I know.
But she can't. Oh, that poor lady.
But I would love to, like, anyway.
Anyway, this guy is has been.
Can you believe what he made? He made me go to a porn shop.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He's the worst, you know.
He made me watch porn with him, and all of them are like, I really like watching porn with my. But it's like, if you choose the person, that can be great.
Right.
Watching porn with your person can be a lot of fun.
Right.
But not if you're not choosing it.
Yeah, no, of course not.
So gross. This is one of the, I just do want to be clear on this. He's one of the quote unquote good guys in the evangelical world. He's one of the guys that they're like, that they really were holding on to.
Right.
Because he has been, up until these allegations, pretty squeaky clean. Pretty great, pretty good, done, you know.
I think it's almost a given that if it's a religious leader at this point, you know.
Kind of seems like it.
Like, there's a good chance.
Yeah.
That he has abused his position.
Yeah. At this point, the church has launched a full investigation that will certainly go well. They've already investigated it and nothing came of it. So now they're going to investigate and because he was basically exonerated of all wrongdoing with their first investigation.
Right.
But now a new one's happening. He's out. Another pastor quit because he didn't want to be associated with it. One of their main guys. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Denzel Washington isn't going to come to their conference now.
They lost Denzel.
They lost Denzel. That's how important this is.
My God.
Yeah.
But you know something's wrong when you lose Denzel.
When you lose Denzel, you've really done some shit.
God.
Because apparently he'll go to anything. Is that what we're claiming?
I don't know. No. It's more just like my incredible level of respect and admiration for Denzel Washington.
Right. That's how you know it's serious.
Yeah.
You know it's real.
Because he's so serious. He's such a serious actor.
Mm-hmm. He is.
That one performance of his where he had the speech.
He's an amazing actor.
Where he had to like really like.
I don't know why you're actually joking about it. He's really, really good.
But he had the speech.
He is always
it's
the
like
same.
They wrote the speech for him.
It's almost as if they knew that they
give
could
that man a speech.
Give him a fiery.
He needs a monologue.
Yeah.
Make sure never cast Denzel without a monologue. It's probably in like his contracts.
Right.
If there's not currently a 5-page monologue, fiery monologue.
Right.
There must be one.
Get one in there.
I have some ideas. He says when he shows up.
Yeah.
I think a monologue would go well, really, like right here. Like, can we cut everybody else's lines out so that I can just have 5 minutes of uninterrupted screen time?
And when they do that, they are correct to do it. The man can deliver a goddamn monologue. That's all I'm saying. That is the correct choice.
All right, Dan. Well, here's a new game
Okay.
New video game.
Ooh.
It's coming out next year.
I'm going to order it right now.
Super excited.
I'm on GameFly.
It's absolutely... I don't know.
I'm not a gamer.
It's absolutely seems designed for Mormons.
Oh!
It's like perfect for them.
Okay.
Because you get to play God. You're God. And you get to design your own religion.
Oh.
Right? So I mean there's a lot of different like God games. This is a thing in gaming. Right? It's a little genre. I would believe that things like SimCity.
Yeah, those feel like Sims like you're kind of a god.
Kind of a god type thing, you know, but not maybe there have been other ones out there.
Minecraft feels a little like you build things. I don't know. It's but not goddish, but it's
I think again, I don't want to speculate too much about something that I don't know a lot about.
Right.
However, the sort of the fact that you get to design, you know, whether this is a peace loving religion or if it's about lust or war, like what are you promoting in your religion? Honor, cannibalism, witchcraft.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
I got news for you. All of them say peace, but actually do war.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they all do.
Well, actually, one of the things that the game apparently does is you do have to, your followers do have to like face off with other groups. I think it said something about that. But they have to engage in sacraments. And all the sacraments sound really violent. I don't know why they chose to do that. And I'm probably getting so many details wrong, but the name of the game is Godhood. I'm looking forward to it. I might actually order a copy of it when it comes out.
Play it.
Because I think it would be a lot of fun.
You and I should play it.
Because it's kind of it's a little bit of a sandbox type game from the sound of it, where there's really like probably no real beginning or end.
Yeah.
And I kind of like those, like The Sims and
you kind of build a thing, you see what you got.
Yeah. You set it up, you let it just run, you let it play out. But apparently they have like all these different modelings of different the religious systems and how they affect populations. And it's able to kind of merge them under the hood.
I think
actions happening.
I'm going to use the Wild Wild Country guys as my inspiration.
Yeah, exactly.
A violent sex cult is what I'm going to start.
I believe it has all of the ability and all the capabilities of doing that.
Good.
And apparently it's really cute too. Like the artwork.
Fun.
The artwork looks great. I watched the trailer for it, whatever you can get from a trailer for a video game. But it had fun zappy sounds. And
all right, we're going to play it. That'll be fun. Okay. You know how you were talking earlier about how California's all like super liberal, gay, friendly, amazing place and all the stuff?
It's perfect.
It's
California.
It's a utopia. It's a secular utopia.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, no. I'm going to report now on the Chino Valley, and I think we talked about this a while back. The Board of Education for the Chino, where is it? Chino Valley Unified School District.
Okay.
Board of Directors. It's a group of Christians who are running this public school system.
Yeah, they love to do that,
and they've been praying. They've been doing Bible quotes at their meetings.
Good on them.
They do all of that stuff. So they were the FUFR stepped in, the Freedom from Religion Foundation stepped in and sued, and they lost their initial case in 2016. And I think we talked about it at the time.
Okay.
They are fighting it. They went on appeal.
Oh,
lost there.
Okay. Uh-oh.
They're going to try and take it to the Supreme Court. Now, here's the thing. Every time they lose something like this, they have to pay the FUFR's legal fees.
Yeah.
Which means that so far, just from the initial case, they were ordered to pay almost $300,000.
It's a chunk of change.
And they're
coming out of the schools.
Coming out of the schools.
Yeah.
Their fighting of this issue, which has been decided nationwide 1,000 times over.
Right.
They're opting into fighting this costs children education.
Right.
That is pencils out of hands. That is like that's teachers.
One more year of using that out of date textbook.
Right. Another. Yeah. It's exactly. It's all of this stuff, and they're fighting it because they want to do something that they shouldn't want to do.
Right.
Because you can pray in your car before you walk in.
Right.
You can pray at your house over this thing. Great. Nobody's got a problem with you praying for the schools.
Right.
It's just when you decide to come into a place, to a government job that serves all of the people in your area,
Right.
keep your shit to you.
Right.
That's all anyone's asking of you.
Dan, this is their religious right, their religious freedom in this nation, Dan.
To force their religion on other people.
That's how freedom of religion works.
If you're Christian.
Yeah.
Only for Christians. Privileging.
We know that they're the only real religion.
Right. The other ones are cute and all.
Yeah, nice try. Nice try, Islam.
Oh, Hinduism. That's the one. Is that the one with the elephant with all the arms? I love that
I love
one.
it. I love the artwork.
It's so cute.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and that big fat Buddha is just adorable, isn't he?
Oh, you just want to rub his belly.
Yeah.
Ah.
But get real. Jesus is the only real thing.
Right.
So let's just get real. Let's just be honest.
Right.
And pray to Jesus when it counts.
Freedom of Christianity.
Freedom
to Christian.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where we're at. They're going to try and jump it to the Supreme Court. Any other time in history, I would have been like, okay, they're not going to accept it because
stupid.
Because it's already been decided so many times. There's zero controversy within the lower courts about this. But who knows? We've got the whole world's going to hell, and we've got all of these newfangled judges that are just really happy about Jesus. So maybe we'll see. I'm not happy about it. They should just reject the case entirely.
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't have the confidence I once had that they'll do that.
All right. Well, okay, Dan.
Anyway, ladies and germs, if you would like to write into us about this or any of the things that we've talked about today, please feel free to do so. Go to just write to Thank God I'm Atheist. No? God damn it. What's our email address?
Podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
That's the one.
Or you could call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, hey, go to the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/TGIAtheist and click that like button.
And while you're on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It's a closed group, but we let you in.
And don't forget that we've got a Reddit.
Yeah.
A subreddit.
Yeah, all our own.
It's reddit.com/r/TGIAtheist.
Dan.
Yes. Oh.
Boy, howdy.
We got a thing.
We got some audio to play today.
Here's the thing. I played this audio for you earlier.
Yeah.
This is Rick Wiles.
Yeah.
And he is about to disavow. He is shunning another content creator in the world.
Yeah.
And when I played it for you, you were very unable to guess who it was that he was going to go after.
Right.
He says, I'm going to play a video for you, and this guy needs to be. We need to revile him with everything.
We're going to play it, Dan.
Yeah, we are going to play
Yeah.
it. I don't need to do an impression of it.
But what's amazing is
Before we, is who.
Yeah, is that, well, no. What's amazing to me is that I can so little predict what these guys could possibly be about to say,
right?
Or what's possibly going on in their mind.
Right.
That my guess was Sesame Street,
right?
I was like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. He's upset about Sesame Street. I have no idea what he could possibly be upset about.
Okay, before we play this, I am going to remind people who Rick Wiles is. Rick Wiles has a show. I don't remember what his show is. His show is something. I don't remember what it's called, but he
Is
spent
it True TV or something? Like that?
one of those things that tries to make it sound like it's
True news.
It's the opposite of fake news.
It's called True News.
Right. He's literally claiming he's the opposite of fake news.
Yeah.
This is a guy who spent like the entire Obama administration claiming that Barack Obama was literally demon possessed and a devil from hell, and he's, quote, spiritually sodomized the nation.
How do you even do that?
And he was the head of the modern day Nazi regime. That was
Rick Wiles was?
No, Obama.
Oh.
Who was rounding up patriotic men and seizing their homes to be given to illegal immigrants. That's who we're talking about. This is the level of crazy. Like, he believes that the Las Vegas massacre was carried out by a death squad sent by this Nazi crazy regime.
Okay.
That's who we're talking about.
Perfect. So let's see what he has to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a video. My staff showed this to me today. But I don't watch this stuff. I won't allow this kind of craziness to be injected into my mind. I don't want to see it. All right. I guard my eyes. I guard my mind. I guard my ears of what enters into my soul. I don't want to hear a lot of this stuff. But they showed it to me. And they said, what do you think? You want to show it? I said, yeah. We need to show this because you need to be shocked by what this guy is saying and doing. And every Christian should disavow Alex Jones. You should disavow him until he repents and, quite frankly, until he is delivered. He needs to be delivered, not just... All right, I'll just leave it at that. He needs to be delivered. Let's watch this. When was this on? When did he say this stuff?
It was last week, and it was a rant about CNN's Brian Stelter. He has a show, basically, he's a fact-checker show. He's known as CNN's investigative guy. For
Brian Stelter, okay. So here's Alex Jones. Watch this.
I pledge before my Heavenly Father that I will resist them every way I can. These people are the literal demon spawn of the pit of hell. Look at him. You will pay. Yeah, you think I don't see your face, scum? You don't think I don't see you, Stelter? I see you. You understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that, Stelter? Stelter, you will fall. You will not bring humanity down. God is going to destroy you. Get him off the screen. Oh, God, they're so evil. Just please, God, free us from them. They're drunk on our children's blood, for God's sake.
That is behavior of someone who is mentally unstable, bordering on lunacy. Honestly, if I were in a room with somebody acting like that, I would be casting out devils.
Right.
I'd be binding the devil and using the name of Jesus and the blood of Christ to bind those devils that are coming out of that man's mouth.
Oh, my God. What I love so much about this clip is that it's the calm, insane conspiracy theorist calling out
just having some
the excitable, insane conspiracy theorist.
Excitable? Yeah, that's a good word for Alex Jones.
He's just, you know who I feel bad for? Alex Jones's audio guy. Alex Jones, like...
He has to ride those levels.
It's just that guy has a job. I don't care how many plugins you've got for your setup. When a guy goes from "I will destroy it" to like,
yeah,
that guy's got a job to do.
Yeah, he does a pretty good job though.
He does it great.
Yeah,
he's a pro.
He should get like an Emmy for audio engineering. On a conspiracy theory show. Yeah. That's the category.
Right. Best audio engineering for an unhinged host. Alex Jones, who we'll see a lot less of now, thank God, because he's been banned from Facebook, from YouTube.
Good.
He's basically just being taken off every part of the internet that other people own.
Right.
Which means that he'll be a folk hero now. Like his followers now think he's...
Well, yeah, the lizard people have taken him down.
Yeah, the Illuminati got to Facebook. Hopefully, like, all of these people actually just boycott Facebook, and we don't have to hear anything from them.
Right.
But because them being even further entrenched in their own echo chamber is such a great idea. But
as long as it doesn't spread. What concerns me is how
is the spreading.
What concerns me is this one right here. Someone that I know recently, who seems like a reasonable human being, recently admitted to me that she believes in lizard people.
Oh, sweetheart.
And I was like, and she's like, I don't think that they're actually like lizards, but like I believe in lizard people.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, I had no response.
Yeah.
Because that is what's happening, Dan.
Yeah.
Is that these really dumb conspiracy theories are sort of spreading around, right? And just good, decent human beings who maybe don't, practice a lot of rationality in their life.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. Right.
Credulous people who just want, they're looking for something to believe.
Yeah.
They just buy into it.
Right.
And then they're good-hearted souls, so they like barge into a pizza place to save all of the children being trafficked there with weaponry.
Yeah.
They're
shocking.
It's
typically, like in sort of my social realm, I'm surrounded by very like-minded people.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a couple outliers who can sometimes surprise you with whatever they might sort of believe or think or whatever, but nothing like this. Right.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, excuse me?
You do what now?
What? What? And the other person in the conversation started laughing hysterically.
Right.
And then was like, oh, wait, are you serious?
And she was serious.
And
it's not okay.
I was floored.
Yeah. Human beings we're just not good at this thing.
I'm so bothered by it, Dan, that the level of what it did to my perspective on this person.
Right.
Like, it was, I'm trying to be very careful about how I actually talk about this.
Well,
because
it's hard.
I do have a lot of people in my personal life who listen to this show.
Well, there's that. Look, here's the thing.
I do really genuinely like this person. Right.
And that's the problem, is that this isn't just only insane people living in shacks in the woods that are believing this.
Right.
Like, this stuff gets into the mainstream consciousness somehow, and then somebody goes, well, maybe the earth is flat.
Right.
Maybe we have been lied to this whole time. And
right. Or hollow.
Or whatever. Like, is that a thing now? Hollow Earth?
There's a hollow Earth thing.
Oh, sure.
I mean, you legitimately come up with a wild and crazy claim, Dan.
Yeah.
At this point in time. And people find a couple little tidbits.
If you find a good way to disseminate
couple
it.
supportive things that kind of don't even really support anything. But
right.
Okay, I guess I can see some connection. They take these couple little very, very thin evidence things. They link them together. And
bada bing.
They've got a whole new belief system. And people spend tons of fucking time on this shit.
You call yourself Q. You leak. You claim that you've got insider information from the deep state.
Right.
You don't actually explain what that could possibly mean.
Right.
And then you slip just tiny little tidbits here and there, and you've got a whole following.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
don't believe the mainstream media. Believe us. I think that's the point that we're trying to get to.
Yeah,
the mainstream media is lying to you. The only people who have the truth are Frank and Dan.
Boy. If that were true, Dan, I'd be really worried.
If that were true, we'd be rich. And we're clearly not. Or rather, if we were actually making that claim, we'd be rich. Somehow just making that claim makes you rich. Hey, we have a voicemail, don't we?
We do have a voicemail. This is from an upset listener.
Oh, dear.
We've upset someone. We went off about the South, Dan.
As we are wont to do on occasion.
we said some shitty things last week.
Did we?
About the South. Yeah, we did.
I don't know what we... Oh, did you? Wait.
No, we both did.
Okay.
We both went nuts.
Okay. I don't listen to us. I don't know what we say on this show.
And we made it really clear that what we think about the South. And this listener lives in the South and has been a caller through the years too. Yeah. So
here we go.
Let's see what she says.
Hey, it's your angry atheist listener in the South again, calling in for yet another privilege check. Okay, guys, I have called in about this before, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but listen. Those of us who live in the South, we don't just live here because we fucking feel like it. Some of us don't have a lot of money and can't afford to live in those nice blue cities that are crazy expensive. Some of us have families who live here who are not willing to live thousands of miles away from. You guys live in fucking Utah, the Mormon capital of the world. You said on your podcast multiple times that your entire legislature is a theocracy. So look, unless you're willing to move us all to New York City or Vermont or Colorado or whatever, quit throwing your fucking stones. Alright? We are the ones down here trying to make things better, because if we move away, that electoral college is only going to get worse. So if we all just up and run, it's only going to get worse for all the rest of you who can't afford to leave.
Well, Dan,
we have been chastised.
Indeed.
We have been called out. And fine.
Right, but
we should address a couple of things.
Here, I have a quibble.
Can we start with not a quibble? Let's do a compliment sandwich here. We'll start with saying that, yes, of course, like, people can't always leave a bad situation.
Oh, sure.
And people have, and that's fine. Like, we don't blame anybody for staying in even the worst places.
No, that's your home.
Right. It does, however, say something when you say, look, we not everyone can afford to leave. You are kind of making our point.
Oh, Dan.
Like,
no.
If it's a thing that you would leave if you could afford it, aren't you also saying that, yeah, it's a shithole? Aren't you? Am I wrong? Kind of?
Yeah, well...
What's your quibble?
My quibble is...
she's right. We live in a...
This is what I'm saying. This is exactly where I'm going,
like,
Dan.
Utah is
we've taken plenty of opportunity to dish on our own state.
We shit all over our own state.
Right.
So I don't know what her complaint is.
We seem to be kind of equal opportunity with this whole thing.
Yeah.
If we call the South out for being a shithole, it's probably because it's a shithole.
Yeah, we spent a decent amount of time there, and let's just say, like,
I'm from one of the biggest shitholes in the world.
Right? Yeah,
I'm from rural Oklahoma.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
you know what it's all about. And let me tell you something. We did a big long road trip, you and I, through the South. I've spent plenty of time in the South, and there are some lovely little towns, cities.
Yeah, there are.
I've had
there
some
actually
great
really
time.
Legitimately are.
And then between those is just horrors. Like, everywhere in between these little outlier places is just, if you take 3 steps outside of Savannah, Georgia proper, it's nothing but fucking, like, swastikas and rebel flags. It's it's a nightmare.
Right. Yeah, agreed. And like, I mean, we do kind of diss on Utah a little, but we also...
Not for nothing.
Not for nothing. It's kind of a pretty awesome place.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
There are not many. In fact, there are none.
Exactly.
No other
total of zero other
states that have actually received not one.
Oh no.
Not two.
Oh, that wouldn't be enough.
But 3 Michelin stars.
The highest honor the Michelin star system can bestow.
Their guidebooks list Utah as a 3 Michelin star state.
Yeah.
Which means, if you understand the star system, 1 Michelin star, which is hard to get for anything. If you're a restaurant with 1 Michelin star, you're on your game.
Yeah.
Right? You are good at what you do.
Yeah.
That 1 star means, essentially, if you're standing right next to it, go in.
Definitely
You're
go.
going to have a good meal.
Definitely go.
Right? 2 Michelin stars, if you're passing through, it's worth a detour.
Go out of your way.
Yeah. Get over there.
Yeah.
Right? 3 Michelin stars means it is worth...
Plan a trip just for this.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
It's worth the trip. Just go.
Yeah.
Right? So...
I mean, don't... I guess what we're saying is don't compare your shitty state to Utah. We're not saying that. Look,
No.
all the states have great things to offer and all the states have shitty things. And look, we don't...
No. Alabama?
I mean,
Was there something good?
there were great people. We met some
There were
really
good
lovely
Thank
people in
you.
Alabama.
Yes, that is true.
We met some great people in Alabama.
However, the only state that I've seen a drive-by shooting actually happen
in front of you.
Right in front of
We
us.
drove right past a drive-by. That wasn't very good.
It was shocking beyond belief is what it was.
And then we told the people that we were with, because we were following them from one bar to another, and
Yeah.
we told them, and they were like, oh, yeah. That sucks. Whatever.
That's just Montgomery. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Get rid of half of the rebel flags, and maybe we'll shit a little bit less on them.
Yeah, there you go.
On the South.
But you know what? And here's the deal.
Here's the other thing. I'll
like-
shit on New York plenty, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll shit all over. We've been shitting on California this whole show.
Right. Exactly. Right. But I would say sticking around and keeping up the good fight is a good thing.
Yeah.
And so good on you.
Yeah, just do that. And get off of our backs. Oh, my God. We do not mean to be mean to you, woman whose name I don't think she said.
I don't think she's ever said her name.
Anyway, we don't mean to be mean to you. We're just you were yelling at us. So there. Anyway, sorry. Well, let's move on. Hey, what people do we have? Some people to thank.
We do.
Okay.
We do indeed.
Let's get to them quickly.
We have a new faithful listener, Dan.
Oh, do we?
Randy with a Y.
Okay.
That's who it is.
Great.
So thank you very much, Randy. Also, we have this actually came in from a few different people.
Okay.
This was a suggestion. I can't believe that we missed it because it just makes sense.
Yes.
People, not just us, apparently, love and really appreciate Angela, our former Lord and Savior,
our recently dethroned
Lord and Savior. So we are creating a new position for Angela, which is Lord and Savior Emeritus.
and she is. She's basically the Pope Benedict of our show.
Exactly.
She is. Yeah. She is still dear to our hearts.
Absolutely.
And the Emeritus Lord and Savior. But as we know, this is from modern theology. Monotheism is the way to go.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
We have one
Lord and Savior. Our top donor. Well, how did I do it? Jenny! I think that was totally upside down and wrong. Jenny! How did I do it? I'll have to go back and study.
You may feel free to send in suggestions for how Frank will say your name as we continue. But thank you so much for your support. And to all those out there who get something out of this show and feel like maybe it would be a thing to kick back some of your cash to.
Right.
You may do what Jenny and Angela have done, which is just go to
Randy,
and go to thankgodimatheist.com and just click on the support tab. You go to the Patreon. just you choose the level that you support
Join
us.
the campaign. Yep.
And it just keeps us going. And we don't make much money from this thing.
Right.
But we'd sure appreciate it. And we could devote a lot more of our energy to it if we can get more support. But we love what we get. And thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Dan.
Yes, sir.
Creationism.
It's the thing that very clearly happened, and we've got proof now.
Yeah, well, there's if you're watching on YouTube, actually, which I would suggest checking out because you would not believe the size of this book. It's called the Atlas of Creation.
Frank brought this over. I'm gonna lift it up and show it to the camera right now.
This is not a display model that has been sized differently. It is actually this large.
What would you say this is? It's like 18 inches by 24 or something like that.
Could be. Yeah, it's
oh my God,
it's large and it's heavy.
It's so heavy.
It's a good 30, 40 pounds probably.
Yeah. And the author. Oh wait,
Harun Yahya.
Oh, you didn't read the back. I'm looking at the back right now, and it says about the author. Adnan Oktar, who writes under the pen name Harun Yahya.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Born in Ankara.
Yeah.
This is this tome is titled Atlas of Creation. And
that little
Volume 1.
That little round thing next to his name. That's the prophet's seal. I didn't know that's what that was.
Oh.
Because I've seen that on Islamic State stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so when I saw it on this, I was like, oh, Jesus.
What I love is that...
Turns out he doesn't like terrorists very much, so...
Yeah.
It's just a Muslim thing.
What I love is that this the front panel has a series of images, a collage of images, and it's one of those things where if you tilt the book...
a little hologram thing,
the images change, so that's great.
They shift back. There's a bird that takes to flight.
Right. There's a horse that's running, and then and then if you tilt it all the way, then they're all fossilized versions of these things.
Oh yeah.
Or skeletons of these critters.
Well, open up the book.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so heavy. This book, it's a hardcover. It's enormous, and it's so stupid.
Well, the bulk of it, Dan, is he has this beef about his whole thing about his argument against evolution is that these species, right, have existed, that are included in this book, have existed virtually unchanged for sometimes hundreds of millions of years. Right.
Should I read
so
the
he
first
finds
paragraph?
evidence from the fossil record, right? And he has an image of it.
Yeah.
And then he has an image of the modern animal or insect or whatever right next to it, right? And he goes, see, they haven't changed.
They're the same.
They're the same.
No
So
evolution.
Creation.
Here's the I'm going to read the first paragraph of the introduction. Oh my God, this book is so fucking big.
You can't curl up with it in bed.
No. Some 150 years ago, the British naturalist Charles Darwin proposed a theory based on various observations made during his travels, but which could not be supported by any subsequent scientific findings.
Oh.
In essence, his theory of evolution consisted of various scenarios, assumptions, and conjectures that Darwin dreamed up in his own imagination.
Wow, what an imagination.
He's a very imaginative man. And this book, of course, goes on then to set up 1,000 different straw men.
Yeah.
Like, these arguments are not actual refutations of what any evolutionary biologist would ever say is what they're promoting.
Right, exactly.
He is choosing to argue with a whole bunch of theories that don't actually exist.
Right.
And he very effectively argues against those theories that nobody's proposing.
Right. Well, that's how a straw man works.
Right. It's a very effective way of dealing with argument with a problem with your theology.
Right. So the book, it'll progress through. You're kind of in the middle of the section entitled "What is a Fossil?" right now?
Yes,
so
I am.
He talks about sediment and, and the different kinds of fossils and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And then, seriously, 75% of this 1,000-page book, which I do believe it's probably about 1,000 pages, is this section. It's just pictures of fossils. And some of the captions and little descriptions and whatnot in that section are kind of funny.
By the way, every page of this thing is full color. That's impressive.
Oh, yeah. And I probably should
Glossy.
mention where it came from.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You should.
This is borrowed from my boyfriend's the professor that he works for up at the University of Utah.
Yeah, your
who
boyfriend
is a biology professor.
Your boyfriend is a biologist.
He's a biologist, and he apparently the author of this book sends this to he just like sends it to all the biology professors at universities, right? Like they all received one of these.
He
up
must
there.
self-publish it. How?
This
How
thing
does he afford
cost
it?
so much money to be published. I mean, this book, when you mention every single page is full color, that's a wonderful detail. The size of it, the shipping costs for this book alone, right? To mail this out in large numbers would just be prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
But
it's published by Global Publishing.
Yeah.
In Turkey.
And I had never really encountered Muslim creationism before.
Right, yeah.
This was kind of a new genre for me, sort of wacky books.
Yeah.
So this will enjoy a nice prominent place on my coffee table for the next little while.
Yeah, basically his refutation of evolution goes like this. Here is a fossil of a sea urchin. From the Paleozoic era, the age 306 to 299 million years old. Now, I don't know where he got that aging, that dating.
Right.
Maybe it's legit. Maybe he just made it up. I don't know.
Right.
He doesn't list why he knows that it's that age, but he says that. He says it's from the USA, and then he says, the sea urchin pictured is one of the innumerable pieces of evidence invalidating the evolutionary claims as to the origin of echinoderms. If the evolutionists' claims were true, the sea urchin specimens of 306 to 209 million years ago should have been very different from today's specimens. As this fossil demonstrates, however, there is no difference between living specimens and those of hundreds of millions of years ago. And then he posts photographs of current
Sea
urchins that look very different from the one that that's in the fossil.
But nonetheless, yeah, that's his whole idea is that, well, if you believe in evolution, then everything is just changing all the time.
Right.
And he doesn't understand the basic mechanisms of evolution.
Right.
Right.
Because his idea of how evolution works is just constant change.
Things are just changing.
Like there's no
morphing into new things.
And by the way, he focuses mainly on like little insects and ferns and fish, and that's about it.
Right.
Like,
there are some mammals in the back. He's kind of has this little section about mammalian skulls.
Oh,
I didn't get too far into that.
Obsessed.
But he does all this like skull analysis crap. And
he does refute like the human evolution thing. He like takes images of Australopithecus whatever that some artist has rendered, and then he's like false.
Right.
So got us there.
Well, and he talks about the missing gaps.
There's no transitional. He also has a lovely image of a human skeleton, and then goes, well, why this looked like this hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Right.
Why doesn't it have 4 legs?
Right.
And
wouldn't 4 legs be better?
3 arms.
Right. Couldn't we use another arm?
The best image. He's got a skull with a spine coming down from it. And next to it, he's got a skull with 4 spines coming down from it, like Dr. Octopus. Like, it's just as though that would be great Who wouldn't want 4 spines? I mean,
because if one breaks,
I got 3 others. That one's the spare spine. I wasn't even using that spine. What the fuck? Why would you want 4 spines?
I know.
Why would that be a thing?
It's truly some kooky shit. And the guy's fucking prolific, right?
Oh my God.
He's written so many fucking books. The back, there's like page after page after page.
I mean, can we call this writing a book when every page is a giant like series of images and one paragraph?
Hey, he wrote it.
Is that called writing a book?
He wrote it, Dan.
I can write a book. I'm going to write a book. I mean, I've written some books, but I'm going to write a book like this.
Good. Do it, Dan.
And self-publish it. That's the problem. Publishing.
The Atlas of Dan.
The Atlas. Ooh. Yeah, people would want that. That's a sexy atlas right there. You open it and Barry White just starts playing. when you open the Atlas of Dan.
I'm sure. I meant more like it's Dan's Atlas, not.
Oh no. You said what you said, and you're going to get what you're going to get.
I don't want that, Dan.
And you're going to like it.
I change it. The title's Dan's Atlas.
Of Dan.
Dan's Atlas of I don't know. I don't know. What are your hobbies, Dan?
Who has hobbies? Podcasting.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, that's not.
Coin collecting? Are you a philatelist?
I've been on to philat on occasion. Here's the thing.
A numismatist. That's Philatelist is philately is stamps.
Right.
Yeah, numismatist.
Let me tell you something. Philately will get you nowhere.
Yeah.
Listen, kids. Here's the thing about books like this. Other than the fact that they're delightful to deal with, but maybe not to transport. This book is evident. Is proof that people, when you start with a conclusion, when you start with already knowing the answer, then everything that might come and bump up against that, you're fucked. Yeah. You can't actually consider it honestly.
Right.
And that's what this demonstrates, is a very dishonest way of looking at the world, of considering, you look at your world and how, and your worldview. And then when somebody goes, oh no, we discovered this, so that thing's wrong.
Right.
You have to go, pretend. And you have to make shit up.
Right.
Because
this guy needs Islam to be true.
He needs his worldview to be true. He has to start from the conclusion and work backwards to evidence.
Right.
And that's just not how reality works.
Right.
And so that's the thing. Go and look for people doing that in the world.
Right.
If they start, it's the opposite of science. If you start from the conclusion and then work to make sure that comes true, you'll come up with a whole bunch of arguments.
Absolutely.
You'll
possibly some
really interesting stuff.
Interesting arguments.
Ken Ham and his whole group, they do some fascinating mind twisting.
Right. And it can be entertaining.
Oh, sure.
For other people.
Oh, and it is. And it is. We should go to the Ark. We really should.
Before it closes in shame.
Yeah, right. Anyway, that's that, kids. If you guys have encountered instances of starting with the conclusion and working backwards, please write into us. podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
And while on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but we'll let you in.
Right. Go to the Reddit page too, reddit.com/r/TGIAtheist. Did I do that right?
Correct.
All right. And thanks so much to so many people. We'll start with Mackenzie, who does the Facebook page, and Amy, Sarah, and Danny, who work on the Members Only Lounge.
And a big thanks to the Red Rock Hot Club and to Gordon Johnston for the use of their music.
And thank you, dear listener, for tuning in.
Bye now.
Ciao.